Everything that's anything will come through LA. And I guarantee you when it comes here, it will always be a shit show. You know what you're in for, so you just sit back, you submit yourself to whatever happens, happens. We have arrived on the outskirts of the Rose Bowl. It is quite the vibe. Vendors, carnies, good times, old times, all kinds of people just everywhere, like total, typical LA vibe where there's just a little bit of everything going around. And let me tell you, the line to get in is wrapping like as far as the eye can see. With the sun not going down for at least another hour and a half, there is absolutely no reason to go inside the stadium, so we're just cruising around the outside donut. This city never lets you down on people watching. One of my favorite observations is watching so many people that come in through the front gate and raise their hands over their head as if they are Rocky, celebrating a victory. And I can definitely understand that feeling, because getting to see this band has been one of my lifelong rock and roll dreams. And I cannot even explain how excited I am, but also how in denial I am that it's finally happening after years of listening to every record, knowing every song, and just celebrating just how basic and perfect all of these songs are. Literally a soundtrack to a certain chapter of my life. Each song is like a time machine that takes me right back there. I seriously cannot believe I am 45 minutes away from finally getting to see Oasis play. My total dream is getting ready to come true, and I am so excited. The vibe here is perfect. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's waiting in long lines. Nobody's pushing, nobody's shoving, nobody's upset. It just feels like the happiness that I kept hearing when I was listening to live tracks, just a stadium full of people singing along. Like, you can feel that vibe in the outer donut around the Rose Bowl. Like, it's getting ready to happen, and I'm here for this moment. This is great. Countdown is on. I'm just minutes away from getting to see a band that I have dreamed to see my entire life. And let me tell you, I am beside myself right now, because I don't go to many big concerts like this. I've always been from the more of the punk rock DIY scene. It's rare for me to do an arena show, but this is one of those bands that I had to break my own rules for. Let me explain why I think that this is the best seat we could have. These guys just literally don't move. They stand on stage, they stay in one spot. If you're down on the floor, it's a little bit hard to see the full screen. But what I really wanted to see, and what motivated me to come, is I wanted to see the crowd. I wanted to see an arena full of people that love these songs the way that I do. And sitting up here in the back corner, being able to look down and actually watch the show, and then the show that is all the fans, absolutely right where I wanted to be.
Ladies, take your positions, please. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. We have the lights in the arena down 60%, please. 60%. We now show uncorrelated targets approaching from the northwest.
we have any sword swallowers in the house? I'm being serious. Any sword swallowers in the house? And this one's for the sword swallower. It's Liam. I said, I just want to wish you good luck tonight down at the Rose Bowl. I said, oh, nice one. He said, a good luck trying to get them lot doing the Pasadena. I said, why is that then? He said, oh, you know what LA crowds are like, man, they're all stoned out of their fucking heads. In the sun all day, you know what I mean? He says, they're more of a fucking Grateful Dead kind of crowd, that's how they dance and shit. He says, so good luck getting them pogo in. So what you saying, you got it in, yeah? And so what you all turn around, everybody in the stand upstairs, in the spaceships, give each other a nice cuddle. And you just jump up and down, it's really easy, even I can do it. Was doing about 2 miles out to sea, and he was doing the Pasadena as well. He was called Mark.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Rose Bowl. This next song's called Talk Tonight. Do you have any Irish in the house? This one's for the Irish. This old town don't smell pretty nice. I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. I walk away. I'm not but I don't bring you down. To love with no resistance, fading like the stars we wish to be. So go on and leave what I just said. Just don't let it out, little by little. Baby, everything you have is now. Little by little.
You are?
Patrol back in anger. Patrol back in anger. Patrol back in anger. Patrol back in anger.
Can't fucking hear you.
Patrol back in anger. Patrol back in anger. Patrol back in
Heard you say. Anyway, stay safe, look after yourselves, we'll see you down the road. Nice one for letting us play these beautiful stadiums.
was absolutely fantastic in every single way, everything that I would hope it would be. All the people around us were super nice. Like, it was just completely chill for being in an old school Rose Bowl arena where they've had like some of the first Super Bowls, and Michael Jackson played here in the peak of his stardom, like surrounded by people, and everybody was just so cool. It was a great night. It sounded amazing. The production on that wall there was just absolutely flawless, and probably the most intense fireworks display. It was just all killer and no filler, just ripped the whole way through. That was just what I dreamed it would be. It was absolutely just fantastic. I loved it.